Good evening, everyone. A very warm welcome. A very warm welcome to our students, faculty members, placement officers, career development professionals, and distinguished guests. On behalf of Sadre Solution, it is my pleasure to welcome you for today's webinar on resume building for the real world. A resume is your first opportunity to make a strong impression on an employer in today's competitive job market. Knowing how to present your skills, achievement, and experience efficiently can make all the difference. In this session, you will learn practical strategies to build a professional, recruiter-friendly resume that helps you stand out and improve your challenges of getting shortlisted. Thank you for joining us today. We hope you find this session as an informative and valuable. Over to Merlin.
We are Sadre Solutions, a social tech impact startup dedicated to empowering lives through technology, innovation, and career development. At Sadre, we believe that every student deserves the opportunity to discover their potential, build future-ready skills, and confidently pursue meaningful careers. Through our technology platforms and learning ecosystem, we bridge the gap between education and employment by providing career guidance and mentoring, future skills and employability development, AI-powered career intelligence, industry exposure, internships, and placement support. We launched this webinar series with a simple purpose: to bring together educators, industry leaders, and students to explore ideas, share practical insights, and prepare the next generation for a rapidly changing world. Our mission is to empower learners, enable careers, create lasting social impact. Over to Vincent.
Thank you, Merlin. A warm good evening once again, and welcome to everyone. Before we begin, please take a moment to note a few simple instructions. As this is a webinar, the microphones will be always muted throughout the session. So feel free to post your questions in the Q&A section during the webinar or using the chat box. We have a dedicated Q&A session towards the end where you can post all your questions. One small request is to be respectful and help us maintain a positive learning environment. Kindly avoid distractions and stay engaged throughout the session. Last, stay until the end for an exclusive Nest Out digital offer and important announcement. Let's begin our journey towards becoming truly career ready. To the speaker introduction.
Good evening, everyone. Very happy and privileged to introduce Johannah Sandra who's the Director of Student Services at Sadre Solutions, where she leads initiatives focused on career awareness, student development, and employability training. Through her work, she supports students in bridging the gap between education and the professional world by guiding them in identifying their strengths, career paths, and essential workplace skills. At Sadre Solutions, she's been actively involved in designing and delivering career guidance programs, mentorship initiatives, and skill development workshops for schools, colleges, students. Her work focuses on helping young people build confidence, clarity in career choices, and readiness for real-world opportunities. She's passionate about empowering students to make informed career decisions and equipping them with knowledge and skills needed for a successful career. Happy to introduce Sandra, all of you. Over to you, Sandra.
Thank you, Nyan. Thank you, team, for all your introduction. Hope I'm audible.
Yes, Sandra.
Okay. Welcome, everyone, to the webinar once again. I take the privilege to share with you today regarding the resume building for the real world. So this is an interesting and exclusive topic to be discussed today, as we are supposed to be aware that the need of and how really help society, the young minds, and what is more necessary to our everyday life. As we speak, I would like to start with an introduction saying that recruiter will only take 7, maximum of 5-7 seconds only to review your resume. This could be unknown fact for many people, but this is the real fact that is happening in the HR world. So why do they even take this 7 seconds? Why particularly 7 seconds? It's because they quickly glance out, even if it is a 10-page resume that you have given or a 1-page resume you have given. They only focus on the key points that are very much interesting and more suitable for the job that you have applied for. So the very important next point is the 75% of the resumes are being detected and analyzed by ATS. That is a software people are using now in our HR world to analyze your resume. So in further, why the 7 seconds is very important and what is that to overcome this ATS software and how we can better our resume is what we are going to see in this complete resume building session. Now it is a high time for a quick discussion among us. So I would like to start a poll now. Kindly drop in your answers where what's your resume's biggest challenge that you have faced? Is it standing out from hundreds of applicants, getting past automated filters before a human even sees you, translating your daily work into real measurable impact, or simply knowing what belongs on the page and what doesn't? So you're not alone. These are the exact challenges we are tackling today. So today we will be discussing about this. Once you finish answering your polls, we will continue the session. We have 30 seconds for you to fill in your answers. Yes, people have started filling in the answers. Okay, thank you so much. Moving forward, the first step that we would like to discuss in high importance today is about the structure that resume should have. So a structure is not important or important. The debate is still going on because many people have many formats and templates, and people who are now our trainers have built up their own templates and guiding many students in their different own ways. But a standard template is enough, and a resume has to have the highlights of these 5 points. That is the contact and personal info on the first or from the left hand side of the highlights of the sheet. And then the professional summary is very important, which will in brief about you, powerful overview about your skills and experience, which is tailored to the specific role. So what is your work experience? What are your roles and responsibilities? And you have to mention your quantifiable achievements also. The 4th section is about your skill sections, skill section where your technical skills and your essential soft skills has to be highlighted. The 5th section is your education and certifications. So as you begin as a beginner, you no need to mention all the details about from your SSLC. You can go from your 12th standard and you can go on for your degree. If you're a postgraduate degree holder, you can add on that. Highly focus on your internships, projects, and other skills so that your resume looks more brighter and more appropriate with information. What is a good resume? What is a bad resume? So here I've just highlighted 3 points for a good resume. As we discussed before, we have to have the 5 highlights in our resume. Apart from that, it should have an impactful summary, not generic objective. Let's compare both the points. It should not be based on generic objective. It should be an impactful summary where it is results driven. If you are a marketing specialist, for example, you can mention that you are a marketing specialist with 3 years of experience, elevating brand presence, optimizing digital campaigns, consistently achieving 15% plus engagement growth. So these statements and these percentages and implementing these kind of results driven impactful summary will give you a high impact on the first readout on your resume. So achievement oriented bullets should be highlighted. So you can say, if again taking the same example of a marketing specialist, so you can say that you have led a cross-functional team to reduce the project timelines by 20%, and what cost you have saved annually, and the process improved based on your performance. All these you can mention in your achievement-oriented bullets. And then whatever relevant skills you have to the job that you have applied or to the technical skills totally you have, you can mention those relevant skills. So you can say I am proficient in, and you can list out the skills that are thing. What is a bad resume? What are the points that not has to be highlighted in this bad resume are generic objective. Like to every job that you apply, you should not mention that seeking for a entry level position, seeking for a middle level position, seeking for a senior level position. So these are generic objectives, and you can use your skills and grow within a dynamic company. So these are generic terms that to avoid in the resume. So whatever you have done as role, as work, you should not highlight those. Those are called duty-based bullets. So where you should not mention that you were responsible for daily social media posting, you were attending to team meetings, and you were generating reports for the projects that you have been assigned for. So these are duty-based bullet points. So you should not write in these terms. You should mainly focus on achievement-oriented bullet points. You should not mention the next point is about the vague skills. So generic, this is also more generic or vague skills we used to call as they say generally as team player, hard worker, good communication, Microsoft Office. The generic resumes we see and analyze. We have come across around 25,000 plus students' resumes. So we are encouraging students to be more relevant and more appropriate and right in whatever skills they are proficient in. So this is a summary of good and bad resume, what you should highlight and what not you should highlight on, how you can change your writing style. So as I was telling about the good bullet and the bad bullet, this one is an example of that. So responsible for managing social media accounts can be written as you have grew Instagram following by 3x in 6 months by launching a weekly video series, driving 40% more website traffic. So this would create a more impactful this percentage or this result driven numbers talking about your work. So this would be more appropriate for people to understand what you have done in the future, done in the past. So when you write the bullet points, what should you actually tell them is what is the good example that I have given in the previous one. How you should write it and what you should focus on. So it should focus on an action, a task, a result, and the example. So you should use power verbs and you should quantify everything you write. You should prioritize quality over quantity. Okay, so you have to use power verbs like launched, negotiated, designed. So start every bullet with the energy. When I say quantify everything, whenever you are talking about pricing, whenever you're talking about an achievable amount or a profit or a cost that you have cut down for the company, then you can mention the numbers, the percentages, the amount according to the country you are belonging to, the time frames, and if you can measure it, include it. Okay, so when I talk about the quality over quantity, aim for 3 to 5 points alone. No need to write all the points that you have done. In one point, try to mention every aspect of what you have to write. As we saw in the previous slide, I recommend you to quantify and qualify the work that you have done in the same perspective or same, not as 10 points for each line. Okay. So 3 strong bullet points is equivalent to 10 weak ones every time. As we were talking about the benefits of resume parts, what we have to focus and all those things. Now we are getting into the reality. We are now being assessed and being, beaten by the ATS system. As I spoken to you in the beginning of the webinar, I was talking to you about the HR world and people, what they are using and how our resumes are getting rejected. So the ATS is nothing but application tracking system that is being used way before AI has come into existence. So this application tracking system is being a great asset to HR world, and they have been using this as one of their quickest way of tracking down the candidates that they have piled up in their table on. So we could also call these application tracking systems as gatekeepers between your resume and the real human. So imagine how would a person, HR could hire 1,000 plus, go through 1,000 plus resumes. So everything is being backed up by technology now. So first of all, what has to be focused in this application tracking system? So now we are going to see how to get through this ATS system in a very simple format. What you have to majorly focus on is you have to mirror the job description. So what the job description is all about the role that you are applying for, you have to mirror the job description. So it scans exact keywords about the posting, your language, not your own spin, whatever you want to, indulge in, not that, the actual points that the job description is given for. Point number 2, keep the formatting very simple, not avoid much tables, graphics, a lot of headers and footers, and unusual fonts, new fonts to showcase your resume as a beautified product. Keep it very simple. Third point, use standard section titles. So work experience. Instead, don't say my journey. ATS systems are not creative readers. They are just readers. Okay, readers of what the requirement is all about. So let's just keep the common standard section titles. So then it's most important to save it as a doc, X, or as PDF. Unless you are posting any specific specifications that the company has mentioned, these are the safe universal readable formats. Okay, so this is we have to focus in our resume to formatize the resume to be applicable for ATS tracking systems. Now we saw how we can manage to maintain or cross through the ATS system. Now, what you should actually have in your resume, you have to tailor each and every resume that you are applying for. First of all, read the job posting. What the requirements are from the employer explicitly calls out. So you need to be aware about this. Second, reflect their language. Whatever terminologies or requirements or summaries, the skill sections, though the companies have requested for, mirror those requirements directly in your resume. Reorder to match the priority. What the employer values most as top, both in the sections and within each role. So what the company requires will be addressed here in your resume. These should be new to you, as resume was not spoken as very clear and wider topic, but these are the very simple techniques that you should maintain and make use of while you're preparing your resume. No generic resume wins. It rarely wins. So extra 15 minutes of customization per application is the highest ROI career move you can make. What are the common mistakes that we usually make is unprofessional email. So if you already have a personal email, do create a proper full name email. So how do you create a proper email is with your first name dot last name at gmail.com or any server that you are using in. So that clearly gives people an idea of remembering your email ID and having a good understanding of your writing or creating a professionalism. So personal details that don't belong, don't have it in your resume. Don't have your photo as a highlight unless and until it is requested for. Age, your date of birth would be already there. So date of birth as well as age is not required. Marital status, unless and until it is required, need not to disclose it. So because these create bias and waste prime understanding of what you are capable of and all those things. These are quite a small distraction for your resume. So don't be too long, 1 or 2 pages without strong justification. You don't prolong the resume. You lose the reader's attention. Typo errors, that is not at all acceptable. You should very carefully look into the spelling error because the spelling error can disqualify you instantly. The ATS system will be very particular about it. And 10 times, please proofread it again and again, and then you can apply. Use the resume. Duties, not achievement. Okay, so what the recruiter wants to know, you can mention those responsibilities. Can tell correct. Okay, so too many achievements, unless and until it's required for the post, you no need to mention. So what is more required in today's world beyond the resume? So we saw what is a resume, how it has to be built in basic, what has to be mentioned, what has not to be mentioned, and then what a good resume work looks like. And then we were talking about ATS detecting system and how do we tackle it and what to focus on it, what your resume should cover and what not to cover. Now we are looking into the important part in today's world. What is the requirement? Is beyond the resume, cover letters and LinkedIn profiles are more speaking for your behalf. So whatever you are preparing, it is more important for people to understand your whereabouts and your current updates regarding the technology, based on technology updates, based on your updates on the social media, based on your performance and activeness, and all those aspects are also adding to your profiles. So This is comparable to that you are supposed to maintain a proper and active LinkedIn account where it talks an additional value for you to have a better understanding of your performance for the recruiter. And the standard additional requirement along with the resume is your cover letter. So the cover letter that opens doors. So in your resume, you cannot talk much of what you want to convey to the recruiter. But in the cover letter, you may, convey to the recruiter that your interest for the company, your passion towards the work, the passion towards the role, and your efforts to achieve that role. All those things you can mention in your cover letter, and additional credits like you have already been an employee in that place, or you have done an additional internship and got an achievement during your internship in the same thing that you're. All these details can be flagged in the cover letter. And most importantly, the first point that I would like to highlight here regarding the cover letter is do not mention dear or any other, pleasing or, words that we use for the closed ones. Please mention the name of the manager, or if you don't know the manager's name, please address them by sir or ma'am, madam, or respected. Please use the word respected, not dear hiring manager. That becomes a red flag again. The cover letter can be an email if you're applying for your cycle. It can be a proper covering letter, neat and sent. Connect your story directly to the mission and the specific role. This covering letter can be game changer for your application. Close with a clear, confident ask. So if you have any additional requirements, if you're not clear with any of the roles that description that are given for the role that has been assigned to you, or that the job you're applying for, clearly understand and ask the interviewer through this covering letter. As I told before, that LinkedIn now your minder. So your headline should go beyond your job title. What you are doing, what is your current role, what are your interests are, what are you specialized on. All those things will be your headline of the job title. And then recruiters nowadays are very actively searching LinkedIn for your profiles. Optimize the profile, have the more chance of down chances more. When you're writing your summary in your resume, make sure both the summary in LinkedIn and in your resume, it matches the positioning and consistency, because it should not talk the vice versa or controversial both ends in your resume as well as in your LinkedIn profile. So if you are changing it every time, but you can keep it a precise one and a clear one that states your passion and your field of expertise. So your resume and a unified story. Inconsistency across them raises red flags. So today I would like to tell you that it's very important for us to follow this proper resume and put it at the level where you not only actually enter across the friends and tell them the importance of what is a resume and how does the tracking system works, what to avoid, not to avoid, how does a cover letter plays an important role, and how in today's world LinkedIn profile is important for us to cover up with the resume along as a additional value for our recruiter to understand our background. So what would be the action plan? Start today. don't leave this session without, going back with the same resume. Take these 4 steps. This week, you try to figure out and prepare your own resume like this. Audit your resume. Start your current resume against some real job posting and identify every gap. Rewrite bullet points, three bullets. What is the action? What is the task? What was the result? This is the formula to your 3 weakest bullet points right now. Okay. Upgrade your LinkedIn. Rewrite your headlines. Summarize to speak directly to your target role and audience. If you are looking for a job, or if you're already put up in a job, keep it strong enough to make sure that it's focused. ATS, I would like to recommend you free online tool job scan before every single application you submit from here on. So with these 4 steps, I would like to continue today's webinar discussion. So hope all of have good time understanding plan and action plan for your resume. So flip is now clear. I request Nyan and Vincent also to join me in this Q&A session.
Okay.
Thank you, Sandra, for the wonderful presentation. Over to Vincent.
Thank you, Sandra, once again for the lovely presentation. So, dear participants, it's the time for your the question and answer. Use the Q&A button or the chat button that is available to submit your questions. So Sandra also will join us in answering the questions. So, yeah, we received the first question. So how should I tailor my resume for different job roles without rewriting everything? So, Nandraj, would you like to answer this question?
Sure, Vincent. Thank you very much. I think when you one important lesson that we all have to know is we cannot have one single resume. That's very clear. Now, how do we tailor make it? How do we customize it? It's very important to customize according to the job description of the position that you're applying for. It's important to know that you don't have to rewrite the whole resume, but it is important to connect to all your skills and strengths that you have and related to the job description that you're applying for. Like, for example, you might be excellent, or you might possess communication skills, Java, Python, business management, for example, but the job description requires Java and Python and business management. So you might have to highlight those skill sets in your resume. You don't have to list down all the skills that you have. So that is how you connect or customize your resume to one particular job description, and that helps you to tailor make different resumes for different job roles that you're applying for, and the ATS also recognizes your resume very
well. Thank you, Nandraj. Thank you so much for answering that question. So again, there are a couple of more questions. Let's go in a particular order. So one participant asked this question: is it okay to use AI tools like ChatGPT to improve my resume? What precautions should we take? And you can clump the third question also. What should I include in my resume if I have only academic projects and no work experience?
Okay, good question. To answer your first question, I think ChatGPT, yes, you can use AI tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, and any other tool that you have. But the only challenge in the initial stage is the ChatGPT or the Claude or the Gemini would not know you fully. So it's important for you to give ChatGPT or any other AI tool to know you better. So you give enough information to the ChatGPT to know you better, so that it will be able to design a resume for you. But it's important for you to review every single content that you get from ChatGPT and then conclude your resume. You cannot just copy paste from any AI tool and then present it. It's important to customize and own your resume. It's your resume. It's not ChatGPT's resume. So it's important for you to own it. That's first step. Second step, when you do not have um, projects or work experiences, it's important. You only have academic projects. Okay. So it's important for you to include as many projects as possible and define and explain what kind of project was it and what did you do and what kind of experience or skills or knowledge that you've gained through the project. Explaining them will really help you to showcase a better talent compared to an empty resume. Even though you don't have work experience, it's important to showcase what we have. But the important thing is, need not show something we do not have, or we do not have done it in our career, because we have seen a lot of resumes where they copy paste a project done by another friend or an internship done by another friend. Let's not do that. It's important for you to showcase your work and only your work.
Thank you, Nandaj. Wonderful answer. One question that is, with your experience, you would have seen a lot of resumes, a lot of interviews you have conducted. So, what do you think are the top 3 resume mistakes, especially with regard to freshers?
So Sandra brought in a very important point regarding this question. She was talking about the 7-second rule. Most of the recruiters, they glance the resume rather than reading it. So when they glance it, they only see what is immediately available for them to see, which is the topmost part of the resume. And most of them miss out on that part. Either they think they don't have skill sets and then they don't mention it, or they forget to mention and then they give importance to their academic score. But it's important to ensure what comes first and what comes next in a resume, and you build a proper resume with a proper structure, then your resume will definitely get highlighted. Second important mistake, use the right language for the ATS, which is important because today most of the resumes have the ATS in place where they screen the resume through ATS system. Third important thing, you don't have one single resume for all jobs, and you need to customize it and tailor make it for different job roles.
Okay, wonderful. Sandra, here is a question for you if you are able to answer. Otherwise, Nandaj can also answer. So one quick question is, how often should I update the resume? Here it is one question from the participant. And another question, Nandaj, if you could give only one resume tip that every student or every candidate should follow, what would it be?
To answer the question on whether to update your resume, yes, you have to update. Whenever you take up a new course or a complete new program or you complete an internship, every time you have to update your resume. That's definitely you have to do it. One single tip, if I have to give for a resume, do not focus on design, focus on the content.
Yeah, that's a brilliant answer. So since you and Sandra spoke about the ATS, can you clarify what is ATS and how it is helping the resume?
Okay, ATS is applicant tracking system, which is a automated system where it tracks applications for different companies. The companies basically hire a ATS system. Probably they buy or hire a ATS system, and then once they install the system in their portal or wherever they receive the application, the human intervention is reduced. So when 100 applications are being sent to a company, the ATS first filters the application. So when we say filters the application, the ATS has a mechanism to do it, and it is linked to the job description. So the company or the recruiter would give a certain keyword to the ATS system, where the ATS would only follow those keywords and check if the keywords are available in a resume. And once they check the resume, and if the keywords are available, they shortlist it. And if it is not available, they reject it. So it's important to align your resume to an ATS.
Thank you so much, Nankaj. Okay, we'll take one more question because we also have time for the next webinar presentation. So let me go through the questions list. Okay, so there are many students who are in the first year currently, and they are also part of our webinar. So they are asking like, should I prepare a resume now, or should I just update my LinkedIn profile? So what is your recommendation for a student who is not a graduate yet?
Good question. I think it is important for you to have a resume even from your first year. It doesn't matter whether you're doing a first semester or your final semester. The moment you enter the college, you are preparing yourself to become a professional. One important eligibility and one important criteria to become a professional in today's world context is resume. So you need to have your resume even from the first year. Why I'm saying this is, it may not be really useful, you may not be sharing it everywhere, but it is important to have one, to review it, to analyze it, and then to keep your resume updated every single time. And by the end of final semester, you are actually quite familiar with your resume. You are not new to your resume. So that way it is very, very useful to have a resume even from the first year.
Okay. Thank you, Nandaj, for patiently answering all the questions. Over to Merlin for the next few slides.
So to add and the point, so Jana addressed about the resume, the LinkedIn part. It's very important for you to keep yourself updated. There are a lot of courses and great automation is happening in LinkedIn to upgrade your skill. So you can put like courses. We do have a projects platform where we free a lot of virtual internship programs to you. So with these kind of exposures, as you are finishing up your degree, every semester, every year, you can pile up your resume with a lot of other certifications and projects. So with these internship profiles and certifications and additional skill sets, your profile is going to be, and your LinkedIn profile is also going to be look very in a colorful and very. So you should have an habit of adding.
Okay, thank you, Sandra. Looks like we lost you. Merlin, if you're there, you can give the contents for the next slide.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. As we come to the end of today's webinar, we'd like to sincerely thank our speaker for sharing the valuable insights and all of you for joining us and making this session interactive. We hope you leave today with new ideas, great confidence, and practical knowledge that you can apply in your journey. Before we sign off, don't forget to join us for our next edition of the Sadre live webinar series. The topic will be on skills you need beyond marks and certificates. That will be on Friday, 24th of July, which will start from 7 p.m. Thank you once again for being with us today. Until we meet again, keep learning, keep growing, and have a wonderful day. Thank you.